I'm Simon Whistler, you're watching TopTenzNet, and in the video today we're doing a follow-up on a video we recently did, 10 reasons that McDonald's is evil, and you can see that right here if you haven't seen it already. But in today's video we thought we'd do another collaboration with the TodayIFoundOut YouTube channel to give you a bit more of a history on McDonald's. So let's get started. McDonald's is without question the most popular, successful, and influential fast food chain in history. The most commonly associated name with McDonald's is Ray Kroc, though. Ray Kroc was the entrepreneur who founded the McDonald's Corporation. So the big question is, how did it come to be called McDonald's? You see, now contrary to what you often read, to suggest Kroc created McDonald's is in fact Kroc. As is sometimes the case with amazingly successful businesses, the early part of the McDonald's story includes the people who came up with the idea and created the thing, and the person who figured out how to sell the idea to the rest of the world. Ray Kroc was certainly in the latter camp, essentially the Steve Jobs of fast food, coming up with exceptionally few ideas himself and getting most of the credit, but ultimately he was one heck of a salesman. In the early 1950s, Kroc was employed selling milkshake machines. One of his clients was a chain of restaurants in Southern California run by a pair of brothers, Richard and Maurice McDonald. Born in New Hampshire, the McDonald's brothers moved to California in the 1920s, where they found work, among other places, as set movers for various movie studios. They switched to the restaurant industry in the late 1930s thanks to their dad, Patrick McDonald, who started the Air Dome food stand in 1937. This stand principally sold hamburgers and hot dogs. In 1940, the brothers branched out, opening the McDonald's drive-in restaurant in San Bernardino. It did do well, but most importantly, it taught the pair some important lessons about the fast food service industry. Particularly, this was that hamburgers are among the most profitable food item to sell, and that car hop employees bringing food to customers were completely useless. They had about 20 such people employed at the time. They also came up with a bunch of ideas on how to speed up the process, from raw patty to putting the burger in the customer's hands. This included a complete redesign of the kitchen and the creation of an assembly line process of cooking. With these lessons learned, the McDonald's brothers shut down the barbecue restaurant for 3 months in 1948 to retool it. They introduced a slimmed-down menu and an emphasis on serving the chow as quickly and as cheaply as possible. The highly mechanized drive-in began churning out 15-cent hamburgers, which is about $1.30 today, with unprecedented speed. By 1954, the McDonald's brothers were operating 9 outlets and had sold 21 franchises, initially simply franchising their process rather than their brand's name. It was then that 52-year-old Ray Kroc came calling. In this point in his life, Kroc had served in the army in the same regiment as Walt Disney, with Kroc lying about his age to get in. He was 15 at the time. And later he worked as a jazz musician, paper cup salesman, radio DJ, restaurant employee, and ultimately a salesman of milkshake machines. Unfortunately for Ray Kroc, at this point it was getting harder and harder to sell these machines. You see, he was selling Prince Castle, which was significantly more expensive than the popular Hamilton Beach milkshake machine. Needless to say, despite being at an age when many people are loath to start a business, he was 52, he was on the lookout for a new venture. Having some experience in his past working in restaurants, and having observed many restaurants across the nation, he knew a good restaurant system when he saw one. Around this same time, the McDonald's brothers had just lost their franchising agent Bill Tansey due to poor health. Therefore, the McDonald's brothers decided to hire Kroc as their new agent. However, unlike the brothers, he had much bigger goals than a local fast food chain. He wanted to take the company nationwide. With a deal in hand, Kroc founded the McDonald's Corporation and opened his first franchise in Des Plaines, Illinois on April 15, 1955, with the brothers slated to receive 0.5% of gross sales. Within 5 years, McDonald's had opened 100 franchises. So how did it become that Ray Kroc is the one that we remember, while the McDonald's brothers seem to have been phased out of the popular consciousness? In 1961, the brothers were perfectly happy with their chain of restaurants and had little interest in the much more rapid expansion that Kroc had heavily advocated. Kroc then went about gathering investors and bought the business from the McDonald's brothers for $2.7 million, which is about $21 million today, which was enough to give them $1 million after taxes. At the ages of 52 and 59, the pair were set for semi-retirement. However, they were also supposed to receive continued royalties from the deal, but had kept that part out of the paperwork on Kroc's insistence, as he felt it wouldn't go over well with the investors. Of course, as it wasn't on paper, he didn't honor the deal. Like we said, he's kinda the Steve Jobs of fast food. So I really hope you enjoyed our McDonald's video, even if it was a little bit depressing. Just to say, if you want to check out our other video on why McDonald's is evil, you can click here. And don't forget to subscribe to Today I Found Out, which is another great channel that we put together. You can click subscribe to that on the screen now. Thanks for watching.